this time I have 2 medium-sized bags, and I'll probably tape the tissue inside. First is this beautiful gold bag with some white flowers on it. It's actually got some glitter, and this one has a satin type of ribbon handle. And I debated about what color to use, and I'm just going to use white tissue for this. So I have some that came inside one of those packages, so it's very folded. And I'm just going to do one at a time, so you don't have to double these up. But put your gift inside and use the corners just like you did in the small. So now I have this, and if the gift doesn't take up lots of space, what you're going to do is tape this by putting a piece of tape on that center piece where you grab the tissue and tape it to the inside. And usually with a medium-sized bag, we need either 2 pieces or 3 pieces of tissue. So just like before, grab the opposite corners, grab the middle, flip it over. Now we take a piece of tape, tape it to the bottom center, and put it here. So now I think I need another piece, at least one more. So I would normally get the wrinkles out, so just pretend I'm doing that. Flip it over and tape it to the inside. Now, I really liked how these handles looked. I didn't want to overdo it, but if you wanted to bring them up, with this one, you don't want to overpower this beautiful bag with a ribbon that's too loud. So I could even use some of this white opalescent curling ribbon and take a bunch off. And like what we did before in some other videos, do about 2 feet at a time. The bag, where I'm doing 2 feet or so. Put that bag on too many things on my table. And coordinate it back and forth. You can even cut off another piece. Tie up. So I have one piece that's about 12 inches long, and I'll bring up the 2 handles, tie that with one single knot. Then I'll take this other piece that's very long, that I've folded back and forth, and tie that on. And if you want, you can clip these. You can curl them a little bit more with your scissors, and it makes a very beautiful gift. So let's do the purple bag. Put your gift inside. I have some purple tissue here. Let's see how big these pieces are. Oh, pretty much full size, but they are very thin. Grab your center and a piece of tape and tape it on. Do a second one. Grab your center and tape it. So that's the secret with these. Otherwise, you're going to have the tissue sinking inside the bag if you don't tape it, or it's going to be falling out as you're walking from your car to your friend's house or party. So that's how we keep the tissue right where we want it, at the height we want it. And then if you want, you can connect the handles between the tissue with a piece of ribbon. But you don't have to do that. You can just hold it and bring it to the party and let it go. And then you just have this very pretty bag. So next, let's look at large bags. Here are some large gift bags that we're going to play with next. We'll start with the Christmas bag in the center. I have this Christmas bag that has reds and greens in it, of course, and some gold. And once the gift is in, I've decided I'm going to go with the red paper, since the greens I have don't really coordinate with this shade of green. So I'll move it out of the way. I've got some red tissue, and it's been folded, of course. So let's see. Smooth them all out at once. How about that? Got some little creases in the corners. And then I'll take one at a time. Just like with the medium bag, you have to take these and learn to play with them. Take your second one, opposite corners, grab the center, and take right here. And I have a third piece. If your bag is tall but narrow, 3 pieces should be good. With a wider bag, wider and shorter, you might need more tissue. Alright, so I can either leave the handles as they are and not go with any ribbon. I've got a cute little star tag on it that I can write who it's for. Or I have some gold in the bag, so I could bring up the handles and use some gold, either satin ribbon if I can find it, or the gold curling ribbon. Tie a piece on that's a couple feet long. You want longer for this particular bag. And then tie on a longer piece of curling ribbon. I have some loops now. You can trim them, you can pull them longer from the other side, and then you can, if you want, use your scissors to make them curlier. So that's your Christmas bag. For these other 2 large white bags, I'm going to do what I did before, similar to the small white bag. This time I did find my old salmon color tissue that I was looking for before. I noticed it's old because it's thicker than normal and it's big and I like it, so I'm going to grab one piece and take that in. Because it's thicker, I might be able to get away with 2 pieces in the large bag. And then take the other piece . With this, I could either use a green ribbon or something bright pinky. Just use whatever you want. Actually, I'm going to use a different shade of purple than I used before. Cut a piece that's a couple feet long. Put it through the 2 paper handles. Give it 1 tie. And I'm done with that one. Now for this other one, I was trying to think of a way to use either the neon yellow tissue I don't like or the orange. So I'm going to go with the orange and do a really bright version. And I have to lick my fingers to get the tissue out. Grab it in the center. This bag is shiny. It's actually a very pretty white bag. And I am going to use 3 pieces. These pieces of tissue are smaller than normal. in length. And then my last piece, same idea. Now going back to what I said earlier about handles that don't stand up on their own, I can either leave that or I can tie them with a ribbon. And this time, I think what I'm going to do is yellow, a bright yellow, but I'm going to go with the number 3, and I'm going to do an extra long piece and then trim off what I don't want. Just because I don't want them to crowd out the tissue too much, so by being too close together. So I'll put some ribbon through one handle and some ribbon through the other, and bring it up over the top. This time I'll do a double knot, and make sure it's tight at the knot part, and then I'll let the ribbons hang down and decide, yeah, this one, actually I'm going to trim it a little bit. So it hangs down the other side. So I found a use for my orange paper.